Can nationalism truly be understood through a rational lens? Is this lens a natural evolution of thought, or is it imposed upon societies? These questions may seem daunting, but they unlock the fascinating history of how rationality has been imposed on the concept of nationalism. In the beginning, the understanding of nationalism was not necessarily based on rational concepts. Instead, it was more of an imposition of modern ideals, which were discursively translated into the representation of inherent or beautiful values versus foreign or immoral ones. To illustrate this, let's consider the case of Chile, where the differences between the elite's proposal and the popular sector's responses to these impositions are striking. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the elite sought to impose the exercise of rationality, or rather, the camouflaging of emotions in the pursuit of seriousness. In contrast, the latter group indulged in excesses, their humor and poetic imagination. The imposition of rationality in Chile can be historically understood from colonial times, and the ways in which a kind of sacralization of writing was preserved. This sacralization helped to homogenize the power of the elite with the grace of the scribe, a matter that remained after the process of independence. However, towards the second half of the 19th century, writing began to detach from its homogeneous character with the incorporation of new subjects with ambitions of power. Thus, the pen gave more space to money or operated based on the pretensions of the latter. This led to the opening of new spaces in the letters, not determined for that concentrated elite, but also in the formation of new elitist groups and the emerging middle sectors that began to criticize the spheres of power. Faced with the emergence of criticisms from the middle sectors, which in turn gave voice to the popular sectors, the elite began to display a discourse based on the progress of society and the order they saw as necessary to counteract the dissenting sectors. An order that was linked to the exercise of power to counteract disorder, revolt, and anti-hygienic conditions that only reversed the advances of urbanization left by progress. Rather than ending slums or poor living conditions, the elite tended more towards controlling them. Because rural to urban migration also brought economic benefits that could not be overlooked, places like tenements were preserved instead of being eliminated due to poor sanitary conditions. In this way, the elite needed the poor, but they strived to hide or discipline them based on economic productivity. In summary, the rational understanding of nationalism is more of an imposition of modern ideals than a natural evolution. This imposition has been historically evident from colonial times, as seen in the case of Chile. The elite have sought to control and discipline the less fortunate sectors of society, using rationality as a tool to maintain power and progress. This historical lens not only provides a deeper understanding of nationalism, but also sheds light on the power dynamics that have shaped societies throughout history.